I just bought a giant pie factory, and in this video I'm going to show you why I bought this business, what I'm going to do with this business, and crucially answer the question, have I gone flipping mad? So it's not just a giant pie factory, we also make over 2 million sausage rolls in this 30,000 square foot facility in the south of England near Worthing. The business in question is a brilliant business called Piglet's Pantry. It was started by a lady called Jo who's still working with us, and we're going to take it to the next level. Yes, the business had some challenges, but where there's challenges, there's also great opportunities. It's around a 10 million of revenue business we're predicting for the year ahead, and we've got some stellar clients and make some amazing products. Let me show you around. So you might be thinking, how did this all come about? Well, picture the scene. Around 3 months ago, just come out of hospital from the knee operation, and I got a call from Mark, who's our commercial food services director. And he said, do you know what? There's a good company called Piglet's Pantry. And I knew Piglet's Pantry, and he said, they're amazing. I said, I know they're amazing. He said, well, they're in trouble. They've got some challenges, but the foundations are flipping excellent. I went, okay, Mark, tell me more. He said, I think we could go and rescue them. And we did. This is an amazing business. They supply British Airways, P&O Ferries, John Lewis, loads of food services companies. You know, they're doing millions of revenue, and they've got the facilities to make 25,000 pies in a single day. And not many people can do that. But for us, there's another big bonus. It's all about ecosystem. Come and have a look at this. Now, folding into ecosystems is something that I've been doing for the last 20 years of being in business. And I think all smart entrepreneurs and business owners should think about buying in their supply chain. It's a real opportunity for massive leverage. See, all of this product I can distribute in Marsh Farm, in the Big Sheep, in Cafe Deli Wholesale, in the Rossi Ice Cream Parlour, in the Blue Boar Hotel. Oh, I just love it so much. Cafe Deli will massively benefit from this. They're spending like £600,000, £700,000, £800,000 with our competitors that make all this stuff. Our products are better. We're going to have the wheels, the distribution, and the manufacturing. It's going to be great. And that is something that I focus on just all the time. Now, before we move on to the video, massive thank you to Revolute Business that are sponsoring this video. Allows us to bring great content to help grow your business. Do you know what? I love using Revolute Business because if you've got multiple business, multiple locations, just like me, and you want to keep an eye on spending, you want a system that really works with your accountancy program, then Revolute Business is for you. It just saves so much time so you can get on with running your business, growing your sales, and doing the stuff that you're meant to be doing. Get rid of that admin, use the Revolute Business technology, and you'll have a nice little happy entrepreneurial life. It's not just me that use Revolute Business. In fact, there's 750,000 businesses globally, and they're going like gangbusters. Over 30,000 businesses sign up each and every single month. And do you know what? There's a good news £200 welcome offer. So, if you want to get set up with Revolute Business and help yourself to that £200 welcome bonus, you need to set up an account and put some money in the account before June the 30th, 2026. Now you can do that by scanning the QR code on screen right now. There's also a link in the video description. Personally, I love Revolute Business. Thank you for sponsoring my video. They will save your business time. Let's get back to the video. Now, see those people behind me? They're some of my senior management team and some banking partners. We're owed so much money in a business like this. You can be owed £1 million very quickly when you're shipping out 10,000 pies to a single customer in a single day. Oh, it's just madness. I was like looking at our debtors. That's the amount of money that you're owed by your customers. Within a week, it was £500,000. Within a month, it was £1 million. I was like, oh my God, people don't pay you for 60, 90 days. So I had to work quick, smart to get a finance facility in to help us. And I've shown the bank around the business so they can get an understanding and feeling. And that's what the team are doing right now over there. Do you know what? If you've got an opportunity to do something like that in your business where you can bring in financial partners and show them what you're up to, that can make a big difference. Don't just rely on emails and technology, use face-to-face. Well, this is Grant, who's our head of production in this massive factory. How many packs of this butter are we using a day roughly?
We go roughly for about 800 packets a day, I would say.
800 packs, and at the moment, because we've gone through this transition period, someone's got to unpack all them, but we can get it in bigger blocks before anyone says in the comments, why don't you get it in a bigger block? Well, we can, but someone's doing that at the moment. But look, let's come over here, donuts, they're being filled. Ever wondered how you get the jam inside donuts? Well, you do it like that, obviously, you need one of those. The mad thing is, we wasn't making donuts until I took over. And so
We were doing small amounts, but once we got that donut fryer over there.
So that donut fryer was like 10 grand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We refinanced all the equipment in the transition period. So we've got millions of pounds of equipment in here, haven't we? Just copious amounts. And that's what I'm talking about. You just can't go and set this up easily.
Right, gang, let's just cut to the chase here. This isn't usual behaviour, and I've come to the realisation that I'm quite an unusual fella. See, 3 weeks ago I uploaded a video where I'd bought a theme park. 2 weeks ago I uploaded a video where I'd bought a £2.5 million closed down wedding venue, and this week I've uploaded that I've just bought a £10 million turnover pie factory. This is not run-of-the-mill behaviour, and it's not even run-of-the-mill behaviour for me. Yes, I've bought lots of businesses, and yes, I've documented it here on this YouTube channel. The thing is, these didn't all happen week after week after week. We actually done the deal for the Big Sheep, sort of 2 years ago, and then it got finished 6 months ago and we uploaded the video. I then had the deal done last year for Old Essex Barns, which is that wedding venue, and then this thing did happen in February, but I've only just got round to uploading it. So that's sort of the timeline thing. This stuff has all been happening over the last 18 months, and it's now just come to a point where I can talk about it. The weird thing is I'm bringing out another banger of a video where we've bought another business, and that's coming out in the next couple of weeks, which is totally different to these three. Now, I do get some comments saying, James, this is very diversified. Are you sure you should be doing all of this? And do you know what? I saw one of you comment, and I thought that is very, very true. And the comment was, someone said, James, you've diversified a lot, and do you not think you should just focus on one particular industry? And someone just replied, and I thought that's exactly why I do it. They said, a strong table has many legs. And that's really where I see my business. You see, I'm in hospitality, I'm in leisure, I'm in childcare, I'm in food services, I'm in commercial property. And they all interconnect with each other so spectacularly well. And that's where I saw Piglet's Pantry. You got Cafe Deli Wholesale, we're distributing to thousands of independent coffee shops and restaurants. We buy in lots of cakes and bakery products. We now own the manufacturing, the supply chain, and the wheels all interconnected. And then I can get that into all of our venues as well. And I suppose I looked at this and it sort of ticked a lot of my investor rules. And some of my investor rules are, is it scalable? Is there a love, want and need audience? Do people love it, want it and need it regardless of economic downturns? Does it fold into my existing empire? Does it have moats around the business? Does it have good margin? Does it have regular customers? And all of those things were ticking the box. However, in April this year, the first proper month of us running the management accounts, it did lose money. And so that makes me think, right, we've got to sort this out. It lost money just because of how much the wages were. Wages hit around £165,000 in April for a business that in that month turned about 280,000. Now, I did tell you that it turns around 10 million a year. The problem with that is there's quite some seasonal trends in it. So because we supply lots of football stadiums, we get a lot of that cash towards September onwards. And we're doing some things already to sort of iron out that seasonality. And when a business like this, you've got a head office cost that stays the same whether you turn £1 a month or £1 million a month. And you can't just cut everyone out. So you've got to be aware of that. Here's a little fact for you. I want you to play along. I got sent an invoice to approve, which doesn't usually happen in all of our businesses, but this one, because it's new, I am approving everything. How much do you think a ton of blueberries costs? Because that's what they asked me to sign off on Friday. A ton of blueberries. So this is a big ton bag full of blueberries to make blueberry muffins. And the answer is, think about it, £4,600. That's a lot of money. Here's a question I think you're probably asking yourself. How long did it take James to buy this business? Well, from initial conversations of going around the warehouse, the factory and having a look to buying the thing was around 14 days. We was out, then we was in, we was out, then we was in. Other people were bidding. But I stuck to my guns. I didn't want to pay too much for the business because I knew that there'll be at least £1 million, £1.5 million worth of hidden costs once you actually get in the thing, refinancing all the equipment. Doing a deal with the landlord to take on the building, knowing that he might not do a deal. There's lots of risks involved in buying big businesses out of administration, which neatly brings me on to how much am I going to get out of this? What's the actual profit going to be for us and my group? So I think we can get this business to do between 8 and 10 million of revenue. I think we can get it to do around 1 million of EBITDA. That stands for earnings before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization. So you probably think, wow, James, you've got £1 million profit there. But here's the thing. You've got £1 million profit business, £250,000 goes straight on corporation tax. You're left with £750,000. But a business like that always needs new machinery. It always needs stock invested into ingredients like those blueberries and other things. You've always got a certain amount of your profit just sitting in stock. So out of that £1 million, £250,000 will go on corporation tax. £500,000 will be reinvested into machinery every year. They're already asking me about making a pie machine that makes all the pastry so that we can be more efficient. You've got lease finance equipment because that machinery doesn't last forever. Those vans don't last forever. That all comes out of it as well. Say another £500,000 there. So you're left with £250,000, but I told you need always to have stock in that business. You can have 150 of stock in the business at any one time. And so, you might be able to take out 100, 150 to 200,000 after all those X's. Unless you stop growing, unless you pause a thought, unless you stop innovating. But like I always say, if you don't innovate, you evaporate. And that little message there is a big thing for entrepreneurs, because I think even when you look like you make lots of money on paper, after your taxes, after your investment, after your depreciation, after your interest costs, you really have to love the thing. You have to be passionate about the thing. Because if you're going into this just to make money, you'd never carry on. And I quite like this business. In fact, I love it very much. There's a great team. They make amazing products, like literally outstanding products. We have some of the world's or the country's best brands buying from us. So stick around and I'll tell you more about how we get on with Piglet's Pantry here on the channel. See you next time.